Dear students, in this video we will be discussing about a technique called ELISA. ELISA. It is an abbreviated name for enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. It is full form of ELISA. It is a biochemical analytic technique. It is used to detect either an antibody or an antigen or a protein or a glycoprotein in a biological sample. By using ELISA test, we can detect, even we can quantify the amount of antibody or antigen or protein or glycoprotein in biological sample. That is the purpose or use of ELISA technique or test. The basic principle is the reaction between an enzyme linked or an enzyme conjugated antibody and a colorless substrate generates a colored reaction product. Okay, by using these colored reaction product, we can measure or we can detect or we can quantify the amount of antigen or antibody present in that biological sample. This is basic principle for all type of ELISA tests. There are 4 types in ELISA test that we will see a little bit later. Okay, now this is the basic principle of ELISA test. Okay, now before we are going to discuss about these types and these procedures, we need to understand 2 things clearly. There, one is antibody and their structure, and next one is antigen and their structure. Okay, we already discussed about these things in the last video also. Now I briefly explain it once again. A typical antibody is nothing but protein, okay, or immunoglobulin. Otherwise, the typical antibody consists a Y shape, okay. Each this arm consists a special site called paratope. It is the site where the foreign particle are attached to it. Okay, that's why here in this ELISA test it has significant role. That's why this paratope is very important site on antibody. Okay, coming to the antigen, it is nothing but a virus particle or a bacteria or a fungus, any living or non-living infectious particle. Okay, it is also having some significant sites like paratopes. These sites are also useful to attach these paratopes. Okay, the site number may be 1 or 2 or many, okay, whatever it may be. This site is called epitope, which is useful to attach this paratope site. Okay, this is all about antibody and antigen structure. Now we will see the types of ELISA test. ELISA techniques or ELISA tests. Okay. Here the criteria is the procedure only. Based on the procedure what we are following, we have 4 types in it. One is direct ELISA test. Second one is indirect ELISA test. Third one is sandwich ELISA test. Number 4 is competitive ELISA technique or test. These are the 4 types of ELISA test. Now we will see one by one what is the procedure of direct and what is the procedure of indirect, sandwich and competitive ELISA test. First we will start with direct ELISA test. Before that we need to know an important requirement, that is micro titer plate. It is nothing but solid plate consist small wells. Okay, the well is like this, where we are going to pour or fill the samples. Okay, this is micro titer plate. Usually it consists 96 small wells on it. Okay, this is first requirement. Second one is an antigen is required, an antibody is required, and next enzyme conjugated antibody also required. Okay, enzyme conjugated antibody also required, and finally a substrate chemical also required. These are the basic requirement for all these types. Okay, now we will see different ELISA test procedures with the help of these simple diagrams. Before that we will see shortcuts what we are using in this diagrammatic representation. Here S indicate substrate, and this circle indicate antigen, and this lambda indicate antibody, and lambda and E complex indicate antibody and enzyme complex. Okay, now we will see one by one and the procedures. First we will be discussing about direct ELISA test and their procedure. Okay, here we took one jar like structure. It is nothing but micro titer plate well. Okay, for easy understanding I took only one titer plate well. Okay, in the first step we added an antigen into micro titer plate well. Okay, an antigen, it may be a virus, a bacteria, whatever it may be. Okay, after some time few antigen particle attached to this solid surface of micro titer plate well. Remaining are free in the solution or liquid. Okay, after some time we discarded this solution from this well and wash it thoroughly, so that only the particle which are attached to this solid surface, they are only remain here. Okay, remaining all unbounded particle will be discarded from this well. Okay, that is after first wash. Okay, now we have only few antigen particle in the well. In the next step we added an antibody which is binded with an enzyme. Okay, it is actually we added together this complex. Okay, what happened? They simply, with the help of binding sites called paratopes and epitopes of antigen, they formed a complex, that is antibody, enzyme and antigen complex. Okay, here also there will be n number of unbounded antibody and enzyme complexes. Okay, they will remove, or they should remove with the help of a procedure, washing procedure. Okay, simply we discard the liquid whatever present in this well, so that we can easily remove the unbounded particles from this well. Only bounded particle will be remain in this well. Okay, in the last step, now we have only antigen, antibody and enzyme. For this we have to add substrate solution. Okay, after adding substrate solution, the substrate solution will go and react with the enzyme which is bound to this antibody. This substrate solution go and react with this enzyme, so that finally it will give one characteristic color to the entire solution or liquid present in the well. Okay, these color indicate the presence of antigen in the well or in the biological sample what we are testing. Okay, that is about first type, that is direct ELISA test. Now we come to indirect ELISA test. Here also in the well we took first antigen. Okay, after some time only few are absorbed or attached to this solid surface, remaining many antigens remain free. Okay, unbounded. Okay, as usual in the first step we have to discard that liquid, so that the unbounded particle or unbounded antigens will be removed from the well. Only the attached particles are remain on this wall surfaces. Okay, so that only we have antigens here. In the next step or second step, we have to add antibody solution. Okay, antibody solution. The free antibodies go and attached with this antigen. Okay, now they form antibody antigen complex. Again also we have to wash the well or discard the solution, so that the free antibodies will be removed from this well. Only the bounded one remain in the well, means here this complex only remain in the well, remaining all are discarded from this well. Okay, after that we have to add one more antibody which is conjugated or bounded with an enzyme. Okay, this one, so that this antibody and enzyme complex go and attach with antibody, whatever already existing antibody will attach with this antibody enzyme complex, so that it form a complex called antigen antibody antibody enzyme complex. Okay, after that here also we have to discard or we have to wash the well, so that the unbounded particle will be discarded from the well. Okay, in the final step we have to add substrate solution. This substrate solution go and react with this enzyme complex, and finally it will give one characteristic color. Okay, this color formation indicate the presence of antibody in the test sample. Okay, that is all about indirect type. Why we are calling it as indirect means, here instead of one antibody we are using two antibodies. In between antigen and antibody complex there will be one more antibody. That's why this complex not directly conjugating with this antigen, so that it is calling as indirect type of ELISA. This is the second test procedure. Now we will see the third one, that is sandwich type of ELISA. In this type, first we took antibody instead of antigen. Okay, first we have to take antibody instead of antigen. Okay, we have to allow them to absorb on these surfaces. Okay, so that few antibodies are absorbed or attached to this solid wall surface, few are remain unattached. Okay, in the washing step, that unbounded antibodies will be removed from the well, so that we have only bounded antibodies. In the second step we have to add antigen solution, so that these antigens go and attach with these antibodies with the help of epitopes and paratopes. Okay, so it forms antibody antigen complex. Here also there will be a number of unbounded antigens in this step that we have to remove or discard through washing. Okay, now we have only antigen and antibody complex in the well. In this step we have to add one more complex, that is antibody, which is conjugated with an enzyme. We have to add this composition into this well. Okay, so that with the help of paratopes present on these antibodies, they will go and attach with this antigen, because one antigen consists many epitopes. That's why here with the help of one epitope, here this antigen and antibodies are attached. Here with the help of another epitope of antigen, this antibody paratope will be attached together, so that it form a complex antibody antigen antibody complex. Okay, here also there will be a number of unbounded particles, that is antibody particles, that should be removed through washing. Okay, in the final step we have to add a substrate solution that will give color by reacting with this enzyme. Okay, here the difference is, here we are using two antibodies. The first one is primary antibody, the second one is secondary antibody. And why we are calling it as sandwich means, here first we are using primary antibody that is placed lower side, and secondary antibody is placed upper side. In between these two antibodies the antigen is present, so that it appears like a sandwich model. That's why we are calling it as sandwich type of ELISA test. Finally it will give one color. Based on that color we can say whether antigen present or absent in this test sample. Okay, that is all about sandwich type of ELISA test. And next we will see the final one, that is competitive type of ELISA test. In this test procedure we have to incubate antigen and antibody in a separate well or test tube, so that it will give one complex that we will see little bit later. Now come to here, in the well we have to take first antigen. Okay, we have to allow them to absorb on this wall surfaces. After some time few particles will bounded or attached to these solid surfaces, remaining are free. In the washing step we have to discard these unbounded antigens. Okay, so that only the bounded antigens will be present on these wall surfaces. In the second step we have to add these incubated antibody antigen complexes. Here there will be two probabilities. Whenever we incubated antibody and antigens in one test tube, okay, with the help of paratopes and epitopes, the fuse are attached together and form one complex. But it depending on the concentration of antigen and antibody ratio. Okay, whenever more antigens are present in that solution, what happen? The antibodies all are engaged, means no free antibodies will be found in this liquid. But whenever the antibody are more in number when compared with the antigens, many free antibodies will be available in this test tube. Okay, so that it depends or it indicates the concentration of antigens in the test tube. Now we have to add this incubated antibody and antigen complex into the second well. Okay, so that here the only free antibodies will go and attach with these antigens. Okay, but those antibodies already having antigen, they remain free in this well, because they already formed a complex in the incubation period itself. That's why here there will be no conjugation again, so that they are freely floating in this well. Only those antibodies are free, they will go and attached with this absorbed antigens, so that here the complex will be formed between free antibodies and free antigens. Okay, in the final step, as usual, after washing, because we have to remove these free particles. Okay, after washing, at the final step we have to add substrate solution, so that it will go and react with this enzyme. Finally it will give one color. Okay, by measuring or by quantifying this color, we can say the presence or absence of antigen in this test sample. This is all about different types of ELISA tests and their procedures. And now we will see applications of ELISA technique. Applications of ELISA technique. It is useful in the detection or measurement of antigen or antibody in the sample. It is useful to detect or to measure the antigen or antibody in given biological sample. And next, the concentration of serum antibodies can be determined in a virus test. For example, HIV test. The concentration of serum antibodies can be determined in a virus test like HIV test. Next one is detection of allergens in food samples. Detection of allergens which causes allergies, okay, in food samples. Okay, next, screening of drugs. The technique also useful to screen the efficiency of some drugs. Next one is detection of or quantification of. We can also detect and we can also quantify. Detection or quantification of substrates like peptides, proteins, antibodies or antigens, etc. The test is useful to detect or to quantify the substrates like peptides, proteins, antibodies, antigens, etc. These are the applications of ELISA test. And one more, even it is also useful to detect corona. Okay, even we are also using this ELISA technique to confirm corona positives. Okay, this is all about ELISA and the types and procedures and applications. Thank you.